what advice would you guys give to a person in an abusive situation? And it's easy for you to say, like, get out. Like,
everybody got a different definition of love.
Maybe they was both trying to leave, both the girls in the situation, and maybe both of the boys in the situation didn't want them to leave. So I guess accountability will go to everybody in that situation. The person being abused, the people around watching the abuse happen, the abuser, their self. It is accountability for everybody.
No.
There was a young lady who got into an altercation this week with her boyfriend, and he stabbed her to death. Did y'all hear about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. You know, we have our own craziness up here in Baltimore, so they don't even get to make it out of state because we be having so much in state. Somebody, same kind of situation as that young lady that happened to be stabbed up situation. Her 26-year-old and her 3-year-old daughter was shot in South Baltimore. And it turns out, and she was pregnant also. She was 8 months pregnant. So it turns out the father shot her and the 3-year-old, her daughter, in the car, and they both died.
Hold up. So if I'm getting this straight, so another pregnant woman shot another pregnant woman.
No. So the pregnant woman was shot and her daughter was shot. They're both dead. The father of the baby that was unborn was the one that shot them. He's not the father of the 3-year-old little girl. Her father is incarcerated. So, just unfortunate, just sad, just the world is crazy. It's just stuff happening everywhere.
It is. And I just, like, I don't understand it. Like, I can't get it. You know, I decided to kind of bring that up tonight too. I wanted to show y'all this screenshot, and I'm gonna work on it while we talking about it. But as it relates to accountability, she was the young lady in Baltimore with the 3-year-old. She had been in a relationship with this young man for a while, and she knew of his abusive behaviors. Now, let me be straight. I'm not blaming her at all for her death. He did it. It was his responsibility. He takes all the blame for it. But my question is, does a person in a situation like that, let's just say in an abusive relationship, do they have a level of accountability at all, you know, to taking care of themselves? Go ahead, Kimo. You look like you about to.
Cause that situation is very unfortunate, yo, and that's sad for real. But at the end of the day, like, if you already see red flags coming up, that's your time to go. I don't care who it is. That's your time to go. If you start, and it's different because certain people they can't because they scared. They scared of what's gonna happen, you know. So it's just like it's a little tricky situation because if she try to leave, who knows what that would have been. It probably still have been the same outcome. You feel me?
Right.
So it's just like, oh man, but I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like if you start seeing signs of him just blowing up, him just being super angry and stuff like that, you gotta try to find your way out of there or something.
Ladies, what y'all think? Like, how do you handle? Well, hold up. Before I say this, I'll share something that I've been saying for years. I've been saying that if I get a phone call that says that Ronye was in an abusive relationship and her boyfriend put his hands on my daughter, my question to the person telling me that would be, how much is her bail? Because I know my baby, her reaction is she gonna put him down. Like I already know how that goes. But for the rest of you guys that I really don't know, and I Kimo, you don't answer to this. I'm talking to the ladies on here. RJ, you don't answer either. How do y'all deal with a situation where you feel like the person you're in a relationship with is physically, emotionally, or mentally abusing you?
Well, for me personally, I've never experienced an abusive relationship because I've never I'm already a strong personality type in itself. So I don't really attract certain people. I believe like everybody cannot get to know me personally on that kind of level if I don't feel that I can trust you, that you're a decent human being, that you're not out here going crazy. I wouldn't even talk to you as a friend, as a person, if I knew you was being abusive to anybody. So let alone get in a relationship with you. So I haven't experienced it, but I have friends who are in abusive relationships, who've gotten out of abusive relationships, and it's hard giving them advice because my advice is to leave. My advice is you don't have to deal with that. This is not what you need to do. Like your life is it's long, but it's short in comparison. So why would you want to waste the years that you have on this earth being in an abusive relationship when you can love yourself at the end of the day, or get somebody else to love you if that's what you really want at the end of the day? But it's hard when they're in that state of mind, because I feel I'm strong and I know I'm not going to let anybody abuse me mentally, physically, verbally, anyway. A lot of people I met out in the world are not like that, and I think it starts at home, because people feel like they get the love that they deserve. So if you feel like you deserve less, then that's what you're gonna go for. And unfortunately, maybe that girl who had the 3-year-old, maybe that wasn't her first abusive relationship, and maybe all the men she talked to maybe was abusive. She just, in her world, it's normal. Oh, he hit me, but he loved me. He'd kill anybody if they do anything to me, but he's the one doing it to you. So I think situations. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So you feel like that's like kind of something to do with self-esteem also?
Yeah, definitely. I feel it's always a self-esteem thing, because you have to have a strong personality, a strong feeling for you to get yourself out of tough situations, knowing that it's not going to be easy, that it's going to be hard, and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you might have to deal with that you don't even want to deal with, trying to get out that situation. But that's where resilience comes from. You're going to keep fighting because you don't want this person to keep verbally, physically, or however they're abusing you, to keep abusing you. So it's all about when you're fed up. It's like a bully. When somebody's bullying somebody, that person that's being bullied will eventually, maybe not, because everybody's not the same, but if you're fed up enough, you won't stand up to that bully. Like, I'm done. You're not going to keep pushing me around. I let you push me around for however long I let you, but that you want to get fed up. And unfortunately, some people don't make it to that way because they might get shot or stabbed up or whoever knows in this crazy world, which is why when it happens that one time, that's it. That's all you need. That's that person real colors. It only takes one time for a person to show you who they truly are.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I don't even want to get personal. But Katie, have you had experience with somebody in an abusive relationship?
Yeah, I've had some family members that I've like witnessed them. I had a cousin who actually got her arm broke by her boyfriend at the time, and she didn't know how to get out of it and ended up pregnant by him. She didn't divorce him until like 3 years ago.
Oh. Wow.
And I was a kid at the time.
Wow. That's crazy, man. I mean, we can have opinions on it because we aren't the type of people that will be in abusive relationships like that. Like, do something because your personality type won't allow you to be in that situation, or your self-esteem rises up to the level that says, man, look, nah, I'm not doing it. But for those people whose self-esteem is really low, like, I think that it's sad, that it sucks, and it's unfortunate. Which leads me to this question: how important do you think it is for a person to have an environment like their friends, their family, like people around them that could help pull them from a situation like that?
Very important. Extremely important. Because they need to know at the end of the day that somebody loves them, somebody has their back, even when they don't love themselves. Like, they can't pull themselves up if everybody's dragging them down. They need somebody that can be there along the way, you know, that's not going to give up on them. It's hard because people get tired of seeing their loved ones or somebody they care for being abused or staying in a toxic situation. But if you leave, I mean, they just won't feel like that person that's staying there being toxic and abusive, they still there. So they might as well just stay with them.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the level of accountability? Like, how do you get to a point? Because you can't say how do you get to a point that you recognize it, but how do you get to a point the way you say that there's something that I'm going to do about this?
Some people never reach that point. I mean, it's personal. It's personally what they decide to do.
And then everybody got a different definition of love.
Yeah.
Everybody's love is different for everybody. So it's like, maybe she probably thinking that me, like, all right, she like, and that's what self-esteem come into it. Like, she probably thinks she not good enough for nobody out here, and she probably like, this only boy that's gonna love me or something, this and the third, no matter what the case is. So just like, she probably thinking that's love. Whole time it's not even good for it's toxic.
Maybe they was both trying to leave, both the girls in the situation, and maybe both of the boys in the situation didn't want them to leave. So right. If I can't have you, then nobody can't have you mentality. So
there's a lot of people out there like that too.
Yeah. Even when they reach a certain point with some people who do leave, who do finally get to a point like, I don't want to do this, they still have their abuser. Their abuser is still there. So especially when you got kids with them or family with them, or they're in your family or they're close family friends or something, so you see them, and I guess accountability will go to everybody in that situation. The person being abused, the people around watching the abuse happen, the abuser, their self. It is accountability for everybody, because even with that, the two women who cut them off, if they decided to cut them off, there's people in your family or friend circle or whoever you hang out with who might not cut them off, who still hang out with them, who still want to be with them, invite them to events. So now you got to go to places and see your abuser that you've been trying to shake for however long you've been trying to shake.
Yeah, and that's scary. That's really. What advice would y'all give to someone that's in a situation like that? If you had a moment and you recognized that something was going bad, and you wanted to know, like, you really wanted to help remove them from a situation or offer them some advice. What advice would you guys give to a person in an abusive situation?
I'll go because I'm gonna have to leave soon, Daddy. But I'm gonna finish this conversation first. But like I said, I have friends who are still in some type of form of abusive relationship. It doesn't have to. Sometimes it's physical. Sometimes it's just verbal. It's just toxic. Period. And I constantly have conversations with both of the people involved in the relationship, and tell both of them I think they both should leave it alone, because it's toxic for both of them. They both need to just end it. It needs to be over. If you love somebody so much, go be the best person that you can be by yourself. Get yourself together first. And then if it works out, then maybe y'all can come back together and try it again. Or maybe y'all be already good with the situation and y'all can move on and leave it alone in the past and learn from it. But if you give yourself a time limit, and from the moment you've known that person to the moment now, if you've seen no change and things have just gotten worse and they say the same things and it's always I'll do better, but it's never better, then eventually you know if something is wrong, you need to leave. So I always tell them, I give them a time limit. See how from the moment, because from this moment in this situation that just happened, from this point on to 3 months from now, see what changes. Or 4 months, however long you feel like you're going to stay in the situation. But give yourself some type of realistic time limit where if things don't get better, you need to start making an exit plan immediately. You need to have a plan B or something now, because you might not. You might be like these ladies who might not ever get a chance to have a plan B or have an exit plan because somebody decided their life for them.
Right.
Well, that's my advice.
Okay. Yeah. RJ, you ain't said nothing. What would your advice be?
I don't know. I don't think I really could have any advice because I've personally never been in that kind of situation. And then, like, seeing people be in that kind of situation, it's like, I don't know. Some people just don't want to leave no matter who says it or what they say. Some people are just going to, no, but I love him. Oh, but he's so cute, whatever, whatever. And they're just trapped because love is such a strong thing.
Or
So I
their
really don't
version
know
of
what.
love.
Yeah, or their
Yeah.
version of love. Katie, what you got to say? What advice would you give?
I don't know. It's tricky because you can't just tell someone to leave. They have to leave when they're ready.
Right. Okay. Chemo, you got any advice? I got a bonus
I
question.
would have some advice. I do got a little bit of advice, but I wouldn't because, like, again, I haven't been in that abusive relationship at all. So it's like, it's only certain stuff I can say. But only thing I would say is like, yo, just like you gotta love yourself more. Like, even if I gotta spend more time with that person, just to show like he not the only person that say he love you. You feel me? We could just hang out, just be friends, just go out. You mean just have fun, so you can have more self-esteem. Like, you mean? Cause I'm the type to cheer you up, hype you up. You feel me? So
Right.
I'm trying to build that. I'm trying to be able to build that up so she could be like, oh, all right, no matter who there for me, or who don't love me, or who do love me, you don't gotta stand for that at all.
Yeah. The
the
bonus
best I can
question I
say.
had for you was, what do you do if you don't really know the young lady like that, but the abuser is your friend or relative? How do you handle that situation as a man? Chemo.
If it's one of my family members,
Yeah.
if it's one of my family members, I'm sorry, like I can't be there. Like I would hate for me to be there because family or not, I'm not about to let nobody. I'm not about to let nobody beat on a woman. I'm not about to let none of that at all. I have a family or not. Like I don't know. That's a tricky situation because I already know I'm gonna get myself into something just because I can't stand that. I can't stand that type of stuff. Watching that type of stuff. So yeah.